I used to think haunted houses were fake, just stories for kids or cheap internet videos made for clicks. That was before I spent one night inside the old Wrenford House. Even now, 10 years later, I can't sleep with a closet door open. I can't hear a baby crying without feeling sick to my stomach. And every October, no matter where I live, I wake up at exactly 3:13 in the morning. Every single night. It started when I was 23. Back then, I worked for a small video production channel in Chicago. Nothing big. We filmed urban legends, abandoned places, creepy roadside attractions, stuff people watched late at night when they couldn't sleep. Most of it was fake, but the Wrenford House was different. The house sat alone at the edge of a dying town in rural Pennsylvania. Old Victorian-style place, built sometime in the 1800s. The locals refused to go near it after sunset. According to the stories, an entire family disappeared there during the winter of 1987. No bodies were ever found, just blood. A lot of blood. Naturally, our producer thought it would make a perfect Halloween special. So me, my cameraman Tyler, and our sound girl Melissa drove 6 hours through endless forests to get there. The town itself felt wrong the second we arrived. Almost empty. Most storefronts were abandoned. The gas station clerk wouldn't even look me in the eyes when I mentioned the house. He just muttered, "Don't stay after dark," then walked away. Tyler laughed it off. Man, these small towns really commit to the spooky vibe. But Melissa looked nervous. Honestly, so did I. By the time we reached the property, the sun was already setting behind the trees. The house looked enormous. Dark wood siding, broken windows, tall, crooked chimneys disappearing into the fog. Half the roof had collapsed inward, and dead vines crawled across the walls like veins. But the strangest thing was the silence. No birds, no insects, nothing. Even the wind seemed quieter near the house. Tyler grabbed the camera and grinned. Oh yeah, this place is perfect. The inside smelled like mold, dust, and something older, something rotten hiding beneath the floorboards. Our flashlight beams swept across peeling wallpaper and collapsed furniture. Family portraits still hung on the walls, though moisture had warped the faces beyond recognition. Melissa whispered, "Why does it feel like someone's watching us?" Nobody answered her, because we all felt it. About an hour into filming, we found the children's room upstairs. Tiny, rusted bed frames stood against the walls. Old dolls were scattered across the floor. One doll sat upright in the corner facing the doorway, its cracked porcelain face covered in black stains. Tyler zoomed the camera in. That's creepy as hell. Then, the closet door slowly creaked open by itself. We all froze. Nobody moved. The sound echoed through the room like a scream. Tyler laughed nervously. Okay, probably just the house settling. But Melissa backed away slowly. Her face had gone pale. "What?" I asked. She pointed toward the closet. "There's someone in there." Every hair on my arms stood up. Tyler aimed the flashlight toward the darkness inside the closet. Nothing, just hanging clothes covered in dust. Then we heard it. Breathing. Slow breathing, coming from deep inside the closet. Tyler whispered, "Dude." And suddenly, one of the hanging coats moved. Not swaying, not falling. Moved, like someone underneath it had shifted position. Melissa screamed. Tyler nearly dropped the camera. Then a loud bang exploded downstairs. Another bang, then another, like doors slamming violently shut one after another below us. Boom, boom, boom. The entire house shook. Tyler looked at me wide-eyed. "Tell me that's you." I shook my head slowly. That's when all the lights on our equipment died at once. Camera, flashlights, audio gear, everything. Pitch black swallowed the room instantly. Melissa started crying softly. Then, somewhere in the darkness, a child laughed. Tiny little giggle, right beside us. Tyler cursed loudly while fumbling with his flashlight. When it finally flickered back on, Melissa was gone. Just gone. One second she was standing beside me, the next, empty space. "Melissa?" I shouted. No answer. Tyler swung the flashlight wildly around the room. Melissa! Then we heard footsteps running upstairs above us. Fast little footsteps. Impossible footsteps. There wasn't another floor above us. Tyler looked terrified now. This isn't funny anymore. The footsteps suddenly stopped. Dead silence. Then came the voice. Soft. Childlike. Mommy says you shouldn't be here. I swear to God, the voice came from inside the walls. Tyler grabbed my arm. We're leaving, right now. We ran downstairs as fast as we could, but the house felt different now. Longer. The hallways didn't look the same anymore. Doors we'd never seen before lined the walls, and every single one of them was slightly open, just enough to see darkness inside. As we passed one doorway, I glanced inside for half a second. I wish I hadn't. There was a woman standing in the corner facing the wall, completely still, long black hair hanging down her back, wearing an old white dress stained dark with age. I stopped walking. Tyler. The woman slowly turned her head toward me. Her smile looked unnatural, stretching wider than normal. Her eyes looked dark and hollow, almost like deep shadows. Then she smiled even wider. I ran. We reached the front door and yanked it open, but instead of outside, there was another hallway. Tyler stared in disbelief. No. The house wouldn't let us leave. The lights overhead suddenly flickered on, dim yellow bulbs buzzing weakly above us, and all along the hallway walls were family photographs, hundreds of them, but the faces in the photos were scratched out, except one, a little girl wearing a blue dress, standing in front of the Wrenford House, and in every photo, she was getting closer, until the final photograph showed her standing directly behind us. Tyler turned around slowly and screamed. I spun around too. The little girl stood at the end of the hallway, barefoot, pale skin, black, hollow eyes, holding Melissa's camera. Dark liquid dripped slowly from the lens onto the floor. Then she whispered, "Mommy is hungry." All the doors around us slammed open at once. Figures stepped out from every room. Tall, dark shapes with twisted necks and slow, dragging footsteps. A horrible, rotten smell filled the hallway instantly. Tyler grabbed my shoulder tightly. "We have to run!" We sprinted blindly through the house while those things followed behind us. I could hear furniture scraping upstairs, people whispering through the walls, children laughing from empty rooms. At one point, we passed a mirror in the hallway, but our reflections weren't matching our movements. They were standing still, watching us. Tyler saw it too, and that's when he completely lost control. The lights exploded overhead one by one. Pop, pop, pop. Darkness closed in behind us. Then Tyler suddenly stopped running. I turned around. He was staring toward the ceiling, completely frozen. "Tyler?" Slowly, his mouth opened, and a voice that didn't sound like his whispered out, "She's here." Then something dropped from the ceiling onto him. I only saw it for a second. Long limbs, wet black hair, pale skin stretched tightly over its body. Tyler fell to the floor screaming while the creature wrapped around him like a giant spider. I ran. I left him there. I know that makes me a coward, but if I hadn't run, I would have never escaped. I crashed through a back door somehow and stumbled into the woods behind the house. I kept running until sunrise. Police searched the property later that day. They found the house empty. No Tyler, no Melissa, no camera equipment, nothing. But 3 months later, our producer mailed me recovered footage from Tyler's camera. Most of it was corrupted, static, distorted audio, but the final 20 seconds were still intact. The footage showed me and Tyler running through the hallway. Then Tyler turned the camera backward for 1 second, and behind us, there weren't just shadows chasing us. There were people, dozens of people, standing silently in the dark hallway, missing faces, twisted bodies, watching. And in the center of them was Melissa, smiling. Her smile stretched impossibly wide. Right before the video cut off, she whispered directly into the microphone, "We're still hungry."